Good morning, lady bosses. It is after 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock and 26 seconds. So I'm 26 seconds late today, but I was on the phone. So I'll give it a minute like I always do, see who pops in, and then we'll get started. As soon as one or two of you pop in, we'll start. Okay, one's here. Hey, Rachie. Rachie's always the first one here. So proud of you, Rach. Okay, and Linda Castle. Good morning, Lynn. And good morning, Melissa. Holy cow, everybody's jumping on. 4 of you already. And Amira. Oh my gosh, all my girls. Okay, hey, girlfriend. Okay, let's start. Okay, we're talking about all in today. No matter where you go, no matter what kind of business is, you hear about being all in. And I want to talk about it a little more, and you'll see why in just a second. But what does it really mean? Okay, let's start off with the dictionary definition. Dictionary definition of all in means to be fully committed to a task or endeavor, to give or be prepared to give all of one's energy or resources towards something. The second part of the description is to be completely exhausted, fatigued, or worn out. This is why I want to talk about it, because quite honestly, the whole idea of all in has been a big turnoff to me. And the reason it's been a turnoff to me has pretty much been because I have poorly defined it. I've watched people in their businesses just eat, sleep, and breathe their business. So to me, based on my perception, all in meant that you were just working your business and doing nothing else and ignoring everything else in your life. So that was a big turnoff for me. And if anything, it drove me away from the things that I knew I had to be doing to move my business forward. So, some of these little catchphrases and things that are going on just really have rubbed me the wrong way. And that's one that's really rubbed me the wrong way. But it popped up again the other day because it's popping up all the time because, again, it's just a big catchphrase right now. Morning, Jane. So I thought, okay, let me think this through a little bit further and let's maybe redefine it, not redefine it, but define it more specifically based on what you were doing, okay? So first off, my impression and my turnoff of it is because I watch people, women and men, I hear men talking about, we're talking about just working all the time, never home because they want to build a better life and have a better life 10 years from now for their family. So I'd see that over and over and it just really just soured me and turned me off so badly. So first off, that's my perception. And I've got to be really careful because it can lead me to passing judgment. So I don't want it to be a situation where I look at something like that and pass judgment because you know what? It's what I think I see, but it means squat because I don't know. What I see is this much of somebody's life. Those people might have perfect balance in their life. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Doesn't matter. It's none of my business. So I have no reason to pass judgment. But the idea of it, the idea of anyone living that kind of a life is such a turnoff for me that I want to use that perception I have in order to help me look at my situation and really make sure that I'm creating balance in my life. Okay, so take the idea of all in, but let's look at it. Let's ask ourselves 2 questions. And based on those questions, learn how to be all in, but not sacrifice balance in your life, okay? So the first question is, what's the most important thing in your life to you? Or the most important few things? And do you feel like you find enough time for those things? Things, people, friends, activities, whatever. The very most important thing. Do you feel like you have enough time for them? Like I said, you hear the story lots of times of people who are so willing to sacrifice their time now for what they're going to create later. So question number 2 is, what do you have to give up in order to have more time to be all in to reach your goals? Okay, if you have to give up the young years of your children's lives because you want to build this great life for them down the road somewhere, just think that all through and just ask yourself enough questions. Again, no judgment. You decide what works for you, but just be aware, if you're not already, because I know you are, because you're all really smart women, be aware of the fact that there are no guarantees. You're saving for a tomorrow that possibly none of you will ever see. Personally, for me, my decision is I'm not going to be so busy with anything that I'm neglecting important things today for Jane, its family. Jane, I'm right there with you. That's like my number one thing. I am not going to give up anything with my family for some wonderful career, money gain, wonderful life 10 years from now. None of that's worth it. None of that's worth it if you're missing Johnny's fifth grade soccer season. You're missing the whole thing because you got to work 80 hours a week. Do you have to? Do you want to? Are you building this better life? What if Johnny doesn't have a sixth grade? We don't know. What if you're not here a year from now? We have no guarantees. So decide what's most important. And the things that are most important, they need to be the rocks in your life because you have no guarantees and you don't want to sacrifice any time on the rocks in your life. Okay? Everything else can fall around that and work around that. Now listen, in reality, there are a lot of people who aren't all in with their business and they say they don't have time. If they just look at their lives, look at their schedules, maybe they need 10 extra hours a week to work their business that they say they don't have. But in the next conversation with these people, you can talk about every current TV show that's on. You can talk about what the most recent movies are. They have time. It's just how they're choosing to spend it, but they do have time. So the thing is, if it's really important for you to reach certain goals, and the thing you need to give up to reach those goals might be watching Game of Thrones, what's more worth it? Oh my God, let the rubber hit the road, reach those goals. Because you know what? 20 years from now, you will still be able to watch Game of Thrones anywhere. Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, you name it. You will always be able to catch up on Game of Thrones. But if this is your time that you need to build your business, take that time now. So watching TV might be some time you want to sacrifice. Losing your child's whole sixth grade soccer season is not worth sacrificing because you'll never get that back. You can't relive that. And it's not just what you're going to miss, but the impact that has on your kid's life. Whether it's soccer, whether it's sitting on a merry-go-round, no matter what your kids are doing, that they are scanning the audience to see you. And if you're not there, it's not what it could be. Take yourself back. Take yourself back to the merry-go-round ride. And oh my gosh, you're going around, and every time you go around, you're waving to mom and dad. And, this is a whole other topic, but it's a topic of being present. If you're going to be there with important things with your family, be present. Because now how many kids are going around on the merry-go-round and they're looking for mom and dad are on their phones doing something. Be present. So you don't want to miss that time, but if you're going to grab that time and make sure you're there for it, be present in it. Because if you're not, then why does it matter? It really doesn't even matter. Then you may as well be working. If you're not present, you may as well be working. So they're the two questions. What are the important things? Are you really finding time for them? And what do you have to give up in order to have the time to do the things you want to do to grow your business? Okay, that's really important. So all that being said, it comes back to something we talk about so many times, and that's really knowing what you want. What are your goals and what is it you really want to achieve in your business? Again, we talked about this even last week and we've talked about it before. Be careful that the goals that you set are truly your goals. Okay? All the years I've been hearing people talking about being all in, my assumption was that if I was going to be all in to grow my business, that meant that I had to eat, sleep, and breathe my business. It meant I couldn't go to a grocery store and use the self-checkout because, oh my gosh, you're losing an opportunity to talk to a human being and you might be able to convince her to get healthy and let you be her health coach. Like really? And I know people think that way and that's okay. That's not how I work. I can't. For me, that's gimmicky. It's not real. I just want to genuinely be real and care about people. And if they need my services, they know where to find me. And they're going to want to deal with me because they know, like, and trust me. So for me, that's just a whole different thing. But I also don't want to eat, sleep, and breathe my business to that extent. So if I go to the grocery store, I'm sorry, I'm in the self-checkout because I am an introvert. And sometimes I just don't want to talk to people. Linda totally gets this, but Linda, sometimes you're just totally peopled out, right? Linda and I talk about that all the time, like, oh, it's too peoply out there. Maybe we don't want to go, but it's true. Sometimes you just don't want to. So there are times I just need space and time for myself. There are times I need space and time for my family. And when I'm with my family, my phone's not coming out. I'm not reacting to a client because they're being tempted by a donut. Oh my gosh, what haven't I learned by now? I'm still not bringing water up here. And when I start talking, my throat gets yucky. Anyway, so back to that. You need to give yourself time. You need to have time with your family. You need to have time for the important things to you. It's not about business all the time. Of course, as you're building relationships and people are growing to know, like, and trust you, they're going to know what you do. You're going to have opportunities to talk about your business. But if it's interfering and taking away time that's important to you, that you're neglecting something else, that's the difference. If you're not neglecting anything else and you want to go through the checkout and build relationships with the cashiers, that's awesome. But we're all individuals. We all know what we need. And you've got to make sure there's time for what you need and what's important and time for your business. Now, the other thing is be realistic about what time you need to build your business. Okay, you need time to maintain the business you have, but you also need time to continue to fill your funnel, right? Because the clients you have today might not be around 3 months from now. So you always have to be building and filling your funnel so that there are always more clients coming in. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Colleen. Good to see you, ladies. I didn't say hi to everybody, but so happy you're all here. So in my business, for instance, with the health coaching aspect of my business, if you need to earn $500 extra a month, you can do that with 6 clients, okay? So then figure it out. 6 clients equates to maybe a half an hour a week in maintenance of those clients. And that's not a lot. But yeah, you want to build your funnel. So you're going to have to find time to talk to people, time to go to networking. So maybe you want to spend 3 hours a week, 2 hours a week on your business. And when I say talking about spending time on your business, I'm talking about things that are going to help you to grow your business, not fooling around with a spreadsheet, with building a spreadsheet, building a customer database, speculating and looking at what your month is going to look like. I mean, if you want to do all that stuff, fine, but that's fringe. That's not going to move your business forward. Moving your business forward is going to be actually talking to people, letting people know what you do, maintaining the business you have, maintaining it well, because there's not going to be any better business lead for you than referrals from currently satisfied customers. So in my business, if you want to make $500 extra a month, let's say you have to spend 2 hours a week on your business. How much do you have to eliminate to spend 2 hours a week on your business? Easily 2 TV shows? Or maybe just, time you're scrolling through Facebook that you don't need to because you're scrolling it again for the 3rd time in an hour and you're seeing all the same posts. I mean, we all know it's so easy to get sucked into that black hole of Facebook. So that's important. That's really important. But 2 hours a week is like all you realistically need. If you want to make $2,000 a month in my business, 15 hours a month is all you need to spend on the business. But it's got to be 15 hours spent on the things that are going to grow your business, fill the funnel, keep things moving forward. 15 hours a month is not a lot. 4 into 15, it's less than 4 hours a week, So if you spend 2 hours a week to make $500, you can spend 4 hours a week and make $2,000. But that time spent has to be time where you're focused on the right things. A lot of people say I spend 10 hours a week on my network marketing or my direct sales or whatever. But if you really ask them to break down what they're doing for 10 hours a week, they might be listening to podcasts. They might be reading books. They might be, educating themselves in their business, further in their business. They might be doing some analytical studies of like what their month's going to look like. I'm not saying any of that is important stuff, but none of that is going to grow your business. So that doesn't count as time spent on business. So it's a matter of looking at the big picture and deciding exactly what you need to do and where you need to focus. I see Lori and Amy are here now too. I think I already saw them. But anyway, what did Amy say? Hi, I love the picture oriented. Oh, totally different topic, but thanks, Amy. Okay, anyway. So in wrapping it up, all in, you often hear the analogy of jumping into a deep end. Jumping into the deep end instead of toe dipping, right? Okay. Not too long ago, I just took that analogy a little farther and it made it even come in more focused and more clear for me. So first off, define all in. All in for you might be that, okay, to reach my goals, I have to spend 3 hours a week on my business. So I am all in for 3 hours a week. I am totally going to commit to spending those 3 hours doing everything I need to do to reach my goals. And again, the definition is to be fully committed to a task or endeavor, to give all of one's energy towards something. So again, the thing I don't like about that definition is all of one's energy, not all of it, but for 3 hours a week, all of it. Bring all that focus to that 3 hours a week to do what you have to do. So think about it. You're not going to toe dip. You're going to jump all the way in. You're just going to jump in the deep end, right? Take that a step farther. If you say you're all in and you jump in the deep end and you don't do anything, what's going to happen? You're going to drown. But if you jump in the deep end, the only way you're going to live is to tread water or to start swimming. So either way, jumping in the deep end, saying you're all in means nothing unless you get to work and do the things you have to do to improve your business, right? So that's all I've got for you. Anybody have any ideas or comments, or you can comment later, but we're coming right up on 20 minutes. So it's kind of right in the time frame of what I want to spend. But so happy to have you here today. Man, we got 12 ladies on. It's always so fun to spend Tuesday mornings with you. So I hope that helped, because really, it's like I said, it's something that was a big turnoff to me. But now that I realize all in is all in, whether you want to spend 2 hours a week on something or 40 hours a week on something, whatever it is, just give 100% to doing what you say you're going to do. Have enough integrity with yourself to do what you say you're going to do. You have integrity to not let others down. Have the same integrity to not let yourself down and do the things you promised yourself. So don't lose sight of what's important, but bring the focus you need to accomplish your goals, and it's all a good thing. All right, ladies, if you don't have anything else, if you have anything later or think of it, throw it in the comments and I'll answer things later. But thank you for being here and spending your Tuesday morning with me again. And we'll see you next week.